Warning, spoilers ahead. Should you get Shattered Space? Well, look at this. This is the ending right here. If you were evil, well, look at what happens.
This is like... fine, let's just submit and see what happens. Fuck it. Alright, is this just like a game over? It's supposed to be a game over, right? Yeah, take a knee, BLM and all that.
Look at that.
It literally, you just...
You'll find enemies using reskinned weapons from the base game that also have a new ammo type on them, which just feels a little bit lazy. In culture, there are no new ship parts in this expansion, and this particularly is frustrating a lot of people. It was previously mentioned how expanded ship customization would be a part of the expansion, but it seems like they literally just mean this new flip feature. And while I did find one new point of interest, it was still relatively simple, largely just being a shrine to House Faroon from some zealots. And as I continued exploring, the next 2 points of interest I found were repeats from the base game. Right now, it seems like you can't actually build outposts anywhere in the Kavnik system. Their placement is just blocked, although perhaps there's some kind of issues in House Faroon, considering there are other... And I found the content of the quest to be really interesting. I was having fun all along the way. But during one of the side quests, there were 4 very distinct different outcomes, or at least it seemed that way, but in reality, once you actually went each of those different paths, you found that everything kind of ended up in the exact same way. And in 2 of the outcomes, where you side with either one character or another character, both of those characters will actually use the same pieces of dialogue, at least for part of the outcome, which just kind of felt weird. Like you're hearing the same dialogue that would be said by the other character if you just went the other route. There's some additional custom dialogue beyond that, but things weren't all that unique.
So, the ending is non-existent. It gives you what look like a choice. And I would like to point out the, you guys remember the bank robbery, right? Hold on. These guys right here. You can only do 2 things. You can either peacefully convince them to resolve it, or you can go in and shoot them. You can't take an EMP gun and make them pass out with non-lethal damage. You can't go in and join them. You can't go in and shoot them and shoot all of these guys. This guy has...
Don't forget, there are lives at
essential.
stake.
He's marked for essential. You can't go in and talk to the bank teller and open up an account afterwards. The hostages are immortal. They'll never die. You can't even accidentally shoot the hostages. Well, you can shoot them, but they won't. You can't accidentally kill them, and they won't be shot either by the bank robbers. Bank robbers won't shoot them. Even if you left them downstairs, they won't shoot the hostages downstairs, and all the hostages are marked essential. My point is the house, this third faction, it was supposed to have its own currency. Was supposed to have its own armor, was supposed to have its own weapons because it's in a remote region away from the Freestar Rangers and the settled systems. And yet, you don't get a new currency for them. They only have like 4 new weapons, and the armor looks like any other spacesuit or armor that you could get from the base game. Since this game expansion happens on a planet, you think they would make custom non-spacesuit armors that were very distinct. Especially since this is cult related. You get 2 housing modules for completing the expansion for your habitat. 2 habitat modules for this faction. There's 4 new weapons in the game, as far as I know. I don't know how many armors, but like I said, the armors are basically non-existent. So you get two habitat modules, a free house, and a few weapons. Companion-wise, you can get a few non-named specialists for your ship and 1 specialist, but there are no romances. There are no like story companions that have their own depth and story or their own quests. It doesn't have its own currency. It doesn't have its own ship parts. And there is like one store there kind of, basically. And you have to complete the entire expansion to unlock it. So let me ask you, would you buy a $30 expansion of a faction that uses the same currency, weapons, and armor of the base game? An expansion that offers no new powers or altars. It offers no ship combat, no new ship parts, no in-depth companion with romance and personal questline. All you're paying for is a new map that has, like, the environment is unique, but all you're paying for is literally just a new map with 2 new enemies that uses the currency, weapons, and armor from the base game. I don't know. Personally, I think it would be a very bad idea. I mean, I'm probably going to buy or get Shattered Space later because I would like to use it for the creation kit. But yeah, I don't think it's a good idea at this time. Maybe some modders will add stuff to it to make it worth the while. Anyway, hit that like and subscribe button. I appreciate you guys sticking around, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, also, real quick, I want to give a big thank you for the YouTube creators that I took their clips as an example to show of what their first impressions were. I want to thank you both. You guys did amazing work. I love watching your videos. I'm a huge fan. And just thank you guys for producing the content you're producing. You help us make the decisions that we need to know. You help us get the stuff we need to know for the decisions that we should make. So appreciate you guys.